Alright, I got this machine in. Well, actually, I sold a lady a machine and she had this in the backyard. She said, would you haul that off? I said, sure. It looks like a nice machine. And I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with it. There's the evidence of something here. They cut that off. I don't know why they cut it off. It's easy to take off. Oh, I see what. This was probably frozen. Yeah. Well, we know that the cold water was frozen on it. So let's plug it in and see what's going on with it here. Oh. Ding dong, ding dong. I think somebody cut the hose off. We're going to have to change that. Cut that off. Pretty short hose. Man needs to come mow. Mosquitoes are getting bad. They're growing that tall grass. Ding dong, ding dong. All right. Maybe you should turn the water on. Oh! Right away I see, man, that's a nice looking machine. Looks like they took care of their rust problem by chiseling that out. Well, I hope I have another. That looks like a nice case too. Maybe I just changed the top of it. Look at that. Now, let's see if it'll spin. Wally. Wally. Well, she don't spin. So I'm thinking got a lid switch problem. Well, it may be just the lid switch. And if it is, if we have another case or a top to it, because the bottom part of that case looks good. Usually when it doesn't spin, it's a lid switch. So what we're going to do is take this top off, put a lid switch bypass on it, and see if that is the problem. Oh yeah, that's probably the problem. This is frozen in here, so it's probably melted. Let's see where it melted right there. Let's try that. Yep. Uh-oh. What the heck? No bolt in that. Okay. Make sure they didn't. The nut's still there. Ah, no dogs. Tell you what, let's put some dogs in this and a new bolt, and we'll try to wash some clothes in it. If so, we'll probably have a good machine, except for this. I'll pull that case off and make sure there's no leaks or anything, and see if the neutral drain kit is good. Let's put some agitator dogs. Where are they? There they are, right there. I need to buy some of them. Alright. And I'm also going to need agitator bolt. Agitator bolt right here. That'll be the washer. This one, I'll take this washer. Perfect. It's the first week of May 2024 and starting to warm up. Alright, what we need to do is drop this down in there. Snap in place like that. Perfect. Alright, put this agitator bolt in here. I think we can get it started. Already got it started. Whoop. Now get our 7/16. Well, I wish I had seen what they must have rusted out right in here, and they modified the snot out of that, didn't they? That's perfect. Let's put this dust cover down in there. Alright, perfect. Put this top back on it. There we go. Go. Now let's make sure. Tell you what, let's take this case loose. Because we're going to have to change the top on it. Let's clean on a full wash. A super. We got cold. One hot. All our valves are working. Just a warm cold. And all the cold on the bottom are rinses. As you see, it says wash over rinse. This is a little stiff. We'll need to grease that. And let's see if it'll do a complete wash without leaking or anything like that. Well, that's agitating. I see no leaks. Sure does need to be pressure washed though. Let me see if I have a thing for this. It's been painted before. can work with this one. Yeah, I think this one. Yeah, that was better. Top of this. It's going to be a 5/16 4 bolts. Now, one thing, when you take these apart, these little plastic shims here, these things are like $7 a piece. If you can get them that cheap. So, when you do take one of these apart, keep these shims. I got a place for them right there. That's a shame. They get there. Must have been pretty bad though. Yeah, we can work with that. We'll clean that up. Hang it up. Sand it real well. Yeah, that's a good one. Got this to contend with. There we go. Alright. Yeah. Sand that real good. And let's take this back out to the pile. Ha! It goes into neutral. We don't have to change the neutral drain kit in it. See how it spins. We know it spins. Just see if it needs a clutch. Now, one thing, we need to pressure wash it. That thing is nasty. Scrape that rust off. Oh, I heard it shift. It's a good sign. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't spin. It's a clutch. Oh yeah, it needs a clutch. Big time. Alright, see if we can get that rascal up to speed enough to get some water out of it. We'll need a case and a clutch. And some dogs. Pressure wash. We'll pull this inside where I can work on it. Everything back here is disconnected. And move this around to this side. Let's pop this ring off while we're over here. Oh yeah. Oh, Wally Wally. Oh! Oh! What's up, buddy? I'll tell you what. This is getting warm. That's so good for filming because I got our big fan going and it's really blowing the air around in here. It's probably getting a lot of wind noise. But it's almost intolerable without cooling device on you. Okay. Set this down right there. And go ahead and take the basket out while we're here. Put our spanner wrench on the spanner nut. Give it a little tap with a 2-pound hammer. And take our spanner nut off. Now, the easiest way to get these baskets off, if they aren't jammed on there, is to take your hammer, 2-pound hammer, hold up right here on the rim, pull, give it pressure up, and just tap this. Tap your spin block until it loosens, and then you can pick it up. Oh yeah, that needs to be cleaned bad. Now, but there's sometimes that thing is jammed on there so tight that it won't come off. In which case you have to use a device like this, a puller. And Mr. Harper had that one made years ago. But rarely have to use that. Alright, let's turn it like this. And now remember that we're going to be pressure washing it, so we don't want the water to build up in this tub, so we need to take at least one of these hoses loose. And we'll have to take the water pump off. And set it aside. A lot of lint up in there. We can tell that this machine hasn't been serviced because these shipping screws are still on it, unless whoever serviced it put them back on. It's not necessary to put those screws back in. Unplug it. Unplug it from the transmission. Now, you need a 1/2 inch socket. Well, tell you what, let's get the motor off there first. All you do is put a screwdriver in there and just turn it, and the motor clips come off. And it comes out of those slots in the transmission. We'll clean those before we put them back. And you want to rock your motor side to side. It's stuck on there, and up and down. And then pull it loose. And hang on to your this little device here is called a motor coupling. And you need that piece of rubber on it. Yeah. Now we can take our 1/2 inch wrench, excuse me, and we take 3 bolts out. One here, and one here, and one on bottom. Now we should be able to just slide this transmission straight out. If we're lucky. This one's not going to let us do it. Alright, let's see what we're going to do. Yeah. In this case I have an old transmission shaft. Just match it up with the other one and tap it. Finally. That was tough. I wasn't going to take you out. We need to clean it up. Oh man. So we got our fingers dirty. We're gonna do some pressure washing on this rascal. So now we got all our parts pressure washed, our basket and our machine and this case. We're going to do a lot of sanding on this case. And now we need to put it back together. First, what we'll need to do is clean this transmission up, change that clutch. To do a clutch, we'll need a screwdriver, and we're probably going to need them pliers. Take this dust cover off and take this C-clip off. Then we want to pop this keeper off. Now, take our new clutch and all these components. And wouldn't you know, it's got the wrong spring in it. So change the spring, compress it, pull pads out like so. Alright, get this spring off. You gotta be careful because you got these little cups on the end and you don't want to lose them, like this one. And you want to take your new spring and make sure it has that rubber dampener in it. You can see this one right here. Make sure that one of those is in there. Just like so. And like that. Now to put this back in, you're going to see these little protrusions on the bottom of the shoes. You want those down in the bell. So let's compress this. I'll start by putting that in the bottom over there, compressing it and pushing, just like so. And now for that to slip, you really got to be pushed. Now you want to take this little nylon piece out, or plastic piece. It goes in the bottom. Clip right in there. It doesn't stay very well. And this piece, hang on to it. Slide this back down over your transmission. Make sure those ears fit the cutouts in the pinion gear. Now you want to take this keeper and you want it down where this little thing's down because it fits in that hole right there. Then you'll take your screwdriver and you'll follow that around from that hole. The first one goes in pretty good. The second one, you need to push a little bit. And that's in there. Now that stays, and this goes back on. There's two slots in that shaft that fits in those slots like that. And then you want to put your dust cover back on. Now, what do we do with our sandpaper? What I see here is a lot of rust right up here at the top above. That's rust or grease. Felt like grease. Well, it's rust. Our seal's fitting right here, and it's going to go back through that seal. So let's polish it a little bit.
stepped out when I'm talking about the weather. I won't step out when I'm talking about the weather. Read my lips. I won't step out when I'm talking about the weather.
Now the only thing about that is that clutch was so bad that we don't really know if it went into neutral or not. That clutch could have just been slipping. I think it went into neutral. Let's hope. Else we'll be taking the thing off again, changing the neutral drain kit. Alright, let's slide it through the spin tube. Get our 3 bolts. And our 1/2-inch socket. Alright, make sure those 3 are tight. There they are. We can take this and put it back on the transmission. Now we need to take our motor and clean it. Got a lot of lint on it. Just stick it up here and blow some air through it.
I'm all yours, but I'm feeling my gut. It doesn't feel right. I see in your eyes. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Let's talk about your ex.
Little amount that will come out, so I'm not going to force it. So yeah, these motor mounts, I just swap them. The rustier ones are on the bottom. Put them on the top. Put a clean one on the bottom. Okay. We can put our water pump back on. Get our water pump clips. One. There's the other. The same thing as put the rustier one on top, the other one on bottom. That little key fits in that groove right there in the motor. I thought I had it on there. did have it on there. Snaps just like that. Now, don't forget to hook up our drain hose and our motor plug. And the clamp back on, just like that. Now we're through on the bottom. We can turn this rascal up, put the tub back in. So what you want to do is fit this where the ears go, right down there on the spin tube, just like that. You can see those ears right there. Now our newly washed tub, drop down in there, and take our spanner nut and our spanner wrench, whack it with a hammer. Hang on to it here. It's good and tight. Now, you can put our agitator back in. I think I probably damaged that. I did. I had to hit on this a little bit too much. Cause the bevel to swell out. Be able to see all of the splines. Ideally, you would use a brass piece for that. Perfect. Okay. Now, dust cover on. And our splash guard. Let's move it over to the test area. And let's drop these towels back in there. And other things. Alright, well, let's give it a go. Let's do for eight minutes. Oh, it just stopped. I'm wondering. We've got lots of water in this switch here. Ah. Now we got some powder. Some powder. Now, yeah, that water flipped my gizmo. Yeah, I had a lot of water in there and it tripped my ground fault breaker. It's good to have that ground fault breaker because otherwise I'd probably have electrocuted myself by now. I am that crazy. Alright, so we changed the clutch and guess what? It all came out in the wash is what they say. It works, it goes into neutral. He's got us a machine that we can sell. But we need this.